Back in the late 1940s, the US Navy conducted an experiment called the Philadelphia Experiment. The rumor to the experiment was that the US government was in the process of creating technology that would render naval ships invisible to enemy radar. The first experiment was on the USS Eldridge, and witnesses to the experiment claimed that an eerie greenish-blue glow surrounded the hull of the ship before it dematerialized and successfully transported to Norfolk, Virginia, before reappearing back in Philadelphia. Witnesses also claimed that the vessel was sent backwards in time by 10 seconds. The legend claims that the crew of the Eldridge were affected in disturbing ways. Some of the crew members went insane, while others developed mysterious illnesses and even fused together with the ship while still being alive. In 1995, a video clip surfaced of a boxing match between Mike Tyson and Peter McNeely. Immediately, people noticed something was strange about the video. In the background, one audience member can be seen holding something that closely resembles a smartphone. And that's not really noteworthy until you realize that the first ever smartphone was released over 5 years after the fight in the year 2000. Some people are claiming that whatever the man was holding also resembled an older model of a pocket camera, which was already popular during that time. Andrew Carlson, a self-proclaimed time traveler, literally made millions overnight, mainly from doing high-risk stock trading with only $800 as an initial investment. He would have gone completely under the radar if, as he gained his money, he was losing some of it as well. Andrew, however, was successful in all of his 126 trades, prompting the guys from the Securities and Exchange Commission to take him in for questioning. Once arrested, he reportedly submitted a confession that spanned for 4 hours, detailing his activities as a time traveler and even offered the cure for AIDS in return for a lesser punishment. However, before he could be imprisoned, a mysterious man ended up paying for his bail. Andrew Carlson left no trace of himself whatsoever, as if he suddenly vanished into thin air. When his records were checked, they were baffled to find out that such a person never existed in the first place. Hollywood will tell you that as a time traveler, you should be discreet about your activities to prevent any unwanted changes that could bring about a catastrophic future. However, a man by the name of Alexander Smith not only forgot how to be discreet, but he also sat down for a really long interview about his experiences and predictions for the future. Alexander Smith claims that he visited the future in 2118 and was on a top-secret mission to warn us about our impending doom if we continued our ways. During his interview, he spoke on various topics predicting the future. Alexander's conclusive proof that he went to the future is a blurry photo that appears to be depicting a futuristic-looking city, which he claims to have been taken in the year 2118. In 2001, an American soldier named John Titor claimed to be a time traveler from the year 2036. Using a device installed into a 1987 Chevy Suburban, Titor time traveled back to the year 1975 to obtain the IBM 5100 computer to fight off a computer virus scheduled to destroy the world. Titor foretold of a world littered with conflict, thus leading up to the Russians firing off nuclear strikes in 2015, effectively killing 3 billion people. Andrew Basiago, a Seattle attorney, claims when he was a child, he and William Stillings were chrononauts in a secret US government time travel program called Project Pegasus. The purpose to Project Pegasus was 3 things: protect Earth from any outside threats from outer space, acclimate Martian humanoids and animals to humans, and establish territorial sovereignty over Mars. One of the claims Basiago made was a 19-year-old Barack Obama who went by the name of Barry Soetoro was one of their fellow time travelers. In the 1980s, the 3 men along with 7 other youth traveled to Mars via a Stargate. Basiago claims the experiment was like jumping through a field of radiant energy, and upon the closure of the tunnel, they found themselves at their destination. Meeting your future self might be one of the top things you'd like to do if you had the ability to travel through time. In the case of Akan Nordqvist, he actually did meet the 72-year-old version of himself, and even got to document the whole thing. Nordqvist's story begins when he tried to repair the leak under his sink. As he crawled under the cabinet looking for the faulty pipe, he began noticing that there seemed to be no end inside, so he kept crawling until he saw the light at the end of the tunnel. Apparently this was a portal to the year 2042, where he meets his older self. In his video, he shows both of them with the same tattoo while smiling together looking at the camera. Nordqvist claims that his future self told him of some of the big events that would happen in the future, but he can't share them openly since they might affect the future.